We have studied 4 different type of atomic models till now. Very first we started with the atomic model given by Thomson, that is known as Thomson's atomic model, Wooding model. According to this model, electrons and protons present in the atom. There is a sphere of positively charged sphere where electrons are plumbed like a pudding, they are embedded. But this model could not explain the appropriate distribution of positive and negative charge. Due to this limitation, the other and new model by Rutherford was put forward, and this model could explain the concept of nucleus, circular path around the nucleus, proper distribution of proton and electron, but it could not explain the stability of an atom. That was the failure of Rutherford's model. Later, the more stable model by Bohr was given, and it was based on hydrogen spectrum, that is for a single electron system, but it had also the limitations like electron is present at a fixed distance on a circular path around the nucleus, electron is moving with a constant velocity. This was only applicable to single electron system. So these were again the limitations of Bohr's atomic model. And that is why later the perfect or entirely stable model of an atom was given by the concept of quantum mechanics. That is known as quantum mechanical model. Using de Broglie's principle, Heisenberg's principle, Schrodinger's equation, the quantum mechanical model of an atom was put forward. De Broglie's equation could explain the microscopic particles when in motion associated a wave nature. Heisenberg's principle explained that for a moving microscopic particle, its position and momentum both cannot be measured accurately simultaneously. That means moving microscopic particle has a wave nature according to de Broglie, and for a moving microscopic particle, position and momentum both cannot be measured accurately at the same time. Schrodinger's equation was specific equation. Solving this equation, there were so many acceptable solutions of this equation which could explain the concept of atomic structure. And all these principles were used to explain the model of an atom, that is known as quantum mechanical model. Solving the Schrodinger's equation, the important information obtained was useful to explain the structure of atom. And one of the important information is the concept of quantum numbers. So now we will move to the concept of quantum numbers as well as the concept of orbit and the orbital. So let us start with the difference between the orbit and orbital. What is orbit? This word was very first coined by Rutherford, and even Niels Bohr had given the idea about the orbit. It is a circular path around the nucleus where electrons are constantly in motion. Circular path where electron constantly moves around the nucleus is known as orbit. So we can say that circular path around nucleus where electron moves continuously is called orbit. This is orbit. We can say it is termed as energy levels. In Bohr's atomic model, the energy associated with the electron was given by En minus 2.18 10 raised to minus 18 upon n square. So that n is what? 1, 2, 3 and so integers. These integers correspond to the energy levels. So orbit is nothing but the energy level where electrons can move from one to other. So the orbits are circular path as well as they are termed to the energy levels. They are designated as K, L, M, N, etc. The first orbit, if n equals to 1, that is the first orbit, is what known as K orbit, that is known as K shell. Okay. The energy level, the orbit and the shell are the same. If first energy level, then it corresponds to K shell. If n equals to 2, then it is L shell. Second energy level. N equals to 3, then it is M shell. N equals to 4, then it is N shell. This is concept of orbit. A circular path around nucleus where electron continuously moves, which is corresponding to the energy level where electrons are moving, and 1, 2, 3 and 4 so on energy levels are designated by the symbols K, L, M and O, etc. etc. So n equals to 1 corresponds to first orbit K shell, n equals to 2 corresponds to L orbit, n equals to 3 corresponds to M orbit, n equals to 4 corresponds to N orbit. This is concept of orbit. Now, it was the concept till Bohr's atomic model, but in quantum mechanical model, it was stated that electron is not always moving around nucleus on a circular path. Even by Schrödinger's equation, this fact was evolved. The motion of electron around the nucleus is not always on a circular path. There may be other than circular path where electron is constantly moving or electron is present around the nucleus. This was a circular path, but actual electron not necessarily moves on a circular path. This fact was evolved by quantum mechanics concept. So this has originated the new term that is known as orbital. Let us see what is meant by orbital. Orbital is area around the nucleus where maximum possibility of finding an electron. This is area around the nucleus where there is maximum possibility of finding the electron, is known as orbital. Orbital is the stipulated area around the nucleus where there is a maximum possibility of finding electron. A simple example: orbit and orbital. A simple example can distinguish it. Like if someone calls, some of your friends calls you up and he will ask, "Kya છે?" તો તમે શું આન્સર આપશો? અમદાવાદમાં છું એમ કહેશો? અમદાવાદમાં છું. But obviously your friend is calling from Ahmedabad, so you will not answer him I am અમદાવાદમાં છું. You will say ઘરે છું, કે ટ્યુશનમાં છું, કે એસજી હાઈવે પર છું, કે રખડી રહ્યો છું, whatever. But definitely not say અમદાવાદમાં છું. Because it is understood that you are in Ahmedabad only. Just like that, electron is present on a circular path somewhere around the nucleus. So that whole area, complete area is what? Orbit. It is like Ahmedabad. But there are possibility of finding electron somewhere around nucleus with maximum probability. like you on Sunday must be in restaurant, so there is one possibility restaurant to find you, there is other possibility to find you in the school, there is other possibility to find you in the tuition. So as per the time, that is time being, there are different possibilities to find you at different places. Same with the electron also. The electron is also found in limited area with maximum possibility. As a whole, restaurant is what part of Ahmedabad, restaurant school is the part of Ahmedabad, and tuition is also part of Ahmedabad, tuition class. These places are part of Ahmedabad, but we have different possibilities to find at different places and with different probability. That is to find electron around nucleus where there is a maximum possibility, that area is known as orbital. Suppose it is Sunday, then between, for an example, suppose it is Sunday, so between 7 to 12, it is zero possibility to find you in the school. Now to every day is Sunday only, but ideally we are talking about. And if it is Monday to Saturday, so there is a maximum possibility to find you people between 7 to 12 is the school only. So that time you can say school is an area during that time where there is a maximum possibility to find you people. It is 3 to 6 for an example. So maximum possibility to find in the tuition classes. And if it is your birthday, so there is a maximum possibility to find you people in the restaurant only. So time being, around the nucleus, there is a space where maximum possibility of finding electron is there, that is known as orbital. So we can say orbit is like Ahmedabad, the whole city, and orbital is different small areas where electron is found with the maximum probability or the maximum possibility. I hope it is clear. So orbital is a stipulated area where we can find electron with maximum probability and possibility. Let us see further. This concept was given by quantum mechanical model only. It is designated as S, P, D, F, G, etc. G, H, G and H are not so we can say popularly used orbitals. G orbital is used, but H is under the research till now. Mainly we have to focus on these four orbitals, S, P, D, F only. So S orbitals, P orbitals, D orbitals and F orbitals are not of the circular surface.